Hi, we have just seen the presentation by Areti Damala from Strathclyde University from Scotland, and we are here with Areti. Areti, thank you very much for being here and giving us such a very nice presentation. So you just introduced that loupe thing. So what is that loupe?
What is the loupe?
What is the loupe?
So the loupe is a magnifying glass.
Okay.
A magic magnifying glass with which we can scan cultural heritage objects.
Magic? What do you mean magic?
It's a kind of magic.
Oh yeah?
So you have basically an iPhone which is hidden in a wooden encasement.
Okay.
And well, the camera of the iPhone will recognize an object, and when it recognizes this object and sees that there is additional information, it will present to the visitor additional layers of information about that object.
So actually the user sees, what the user sees is just the screen of an iPhone with a magnifying glass above it, or something like that?
The visitor will be just the reality. So it will see through the camera of the iPhone the real environment around. Now, then the visitor will receive an outline of an object he has to look for. So when he will match the outline he sees, so it has this kind of game mechanism. So if he matches the outline with the correct object, then he will receive information.
So it looks like some kind of an augmented reality thing?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, then you got to match a shape with the real object, and then what you get is?
Additional information.
Additional information about that
object.
Which
can be an augmented reality overlay, or it can be some text, or it can be an animation. I mean, it can be any type of information.
So how long have you been working on that project?
Well, the MESH project started approximately 3 years ago, so we will complete 3 years in January 2016. It's a European project in which 12 European partners participate, 3 European museums, and it has a duration of 4 years.
Did you have the chance to do any testing on that?
So the loupe is really a small, tiny part of this project, because the goal of the MESH project is to create different tangible prototypes, museum interactives that have different forms, and make them publicly available for everyone. So we have an authoring tool, so you can browse the authoring tool, see different types of prototypes, and say, oh, I'd like to implement a loupe, how do I make this? Then you'll get a file which will allow you to print in 3D the wooden encasement.
It's a part of a tool set, let's say.
Yes.
Designed specifically for museum visitors in order to enhance their experience.
Yes, and cultural heritage professionals, because we want to enable cultural heritage professionals to take technology in their hands.
So what the project actually focused mainly on tangible
tangible embodied interaction.
Interaction,
And do-it-yourself technologies too, because we don't want, I mean, we want cultural heritage professionals to be able to implement their prototypes on their own. So we have this concept or metaphor of a recipe. So the cultural heritage professionals should be able to find and locate a prototype that is of interest for his museum, and then follow a recipe with all the steps indicated one by one that will allow him to, for example, create a loupe and make the content for it, or make, for example, the interactive showcases, or the different types of prototypes.
So actually the idea is to leave behind all computer screens and all that stuff that we are accustomed to.
That's what
and change the paradigm, you know, to see something tangible, new, and real in this reality, not in virtual reality.
Exactly, we want to put back the focus on the physical.
On reality,
No computer screens.
No computer screens.
Not allowed. I mean, even the loupe, for some of the colleagues were like, oh, we have a screen here. But it's kind of, well, must. But yes, absolutely no screens, physical, tangible, embodied interaction with.
Did you have any feedback on that?
Well,
tool set, and specifically for the loupe?
We are now in the process where we just, let's say, finished with 2 big temporary exhibitions. Actually, the first one will be open until November. So what we tried there was 3D objects that acted as controllers and gateways for visitors to get content.
Okay.
For example, in the museum exhibition that talked about the story of the city of The Hague in the Second World War, the visitors had to pick up replicas of real Second World War objects, and they could choose different narratives. So, for example, if you wanted a German soldier narrative, you would choose a beer cup, and you would use your beer cup to activate the narratives and get the information. So, in terms of interaction, I guess we could have just created a button where it would say German soldier,
yeah, but
Dutch
this is
civilian.
not the issue here.
No, we wanted to say how, I mean, interaction with, well, real tangible
objects.
Objects, yes. what it is that it has to offer.
And how was the feedback? Was
well,
it positive?
It was positive. We're still in the phase where we are analyzing the results. We also had the chance to test this concept in our Pearson Museum, in another exhibition, archaeological exhibition, where the visitors were, let's say, given the chance to interact with copies, replicas, exact replicas of ancient Greek drinking cups, kilikes.
Yes.
So they had the chance to, well, use them, and what was also interesting is that we used this notion to make them see how the figures would look in a kilix with water inside, because they were painted in such a way so as to create the illusion of a movement, but you cannot see this if, you know.
So you try to replicate that
exactly,
feeling.
and it worked really well from what we saw, so, well, that's
excellent.
Pretty positive.
Well, thank you very much, Areti. Thank you for being here, and thank you for this talk.
It's a real pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, too.
Thank you all.
Thank you.